Sabra no kate chia and I'm a platform is where them we our train CCA. Manasseh Azure a journalist. Ghana ha journalist juma ono so eka ho. I mean no kwasa see enche yebra Manasseh kwakopie mu e wo court na wakwakoyi ne ho ano e wo nsem bi a yede ato so. Sabra Lighthouse Chapel International LCI I name say papa or that Astoriano and you be say papa Dag Heward Mills evangelist. Omesiu Manasseh Azure and for 3 be a home for defamation. Now me you so be say e ba ne saying then anka sorry there Bible class so unu ayo boni afache say Lighthouse for the Oman fanche mama tamade no akwa kwesi course. Ni nyina ye nsensem bi a busumi bi a betwemu emre bi a betwemu ko ye tete ye e won frame say Lighthouse asafo no maybe enkoyie ewo asafunim. Now according to Lighthouse Chapel International for ni etwa munsu mu na eyo mahikra ne website bi anidin e the 4th estate. Now the 23rd of April omochro article bi article no omochro ye no title la omude to article needing a darkness in a lighthouse part 1 a scene kumewood for a trasene part 1 say definitely a din part 2 ebeba. Now, most I so true say pastors recount abuse and trauma. Ni nyina ya niema ekoso e Lighthouse Chapel no emu e na article no state and say ocho na ba baby a almost sign make ye in almost use mu a omo de call kura e kire ma baby article ni mu kira 6 ministers labeled for a cumulative 42 years and 5 months without their payment of their pension contribution. And a child was to what must come say, court no, and should only ask 7 more within same beer. Manasseh Azure mo etro yom can ye on the others now, completely now can almost home feel because as some see a lighthouse for ne as some more court to years and to men book court to crana as a more cost so a church one some fan who go and you must munjai and omo can send my to send a lighthouse as a for never hono a G amount for sika omu bu amount for brain yes and here kwanya was some for ni pa konya coupon ho omu the omu transfer ni pa ko here and tesa ebio charges be a beba with this particular suit no omu J damages no e free Manasseh Azure and in for 3 aka omu na man for chima lighthouse we dey send Kenya ibi anka mu si no na ye dan so we dey nyame kra nyesa na mo yesa Peter wo se hwan twa obi asokra ya usukra se fa hye ho nyesa no twese kan no o wo se kan ti mu si Manasseh no obi su ebetimi na ne akoso between Lighthouse Chapel International and Manasseh Azure and 3 others o count on it anything.
All right, so in check the same committee for Niashefo gina Manasseh Azure ababe kasa. So we share what is on the screens currently a year Manasseh Azure ababe kasa. And you see, and you're serving the seal, which is coming from a Lighthouse Chapel International, as you can see on the screens. No, according to Manasseh Azure, rates no nya, from the lawyers of Lighthouse Chapel LCI, or more part say the main reason I'm going sue Manasseh Azure is because reports Manasseh Azure reports about the 4th estate say darkness in Lighthouse near there, you know. Omo Paje say we are losing members. For Mashri Sikania there. They've lost a whole lot of bills and good things. But because of this particular story, you know, I said and it has dented their image to the extent said they can never ever recover from it. If they recover, and it will take years.
It will take years.
Yes. I will say we are losing members because of a report Lighthouse sues the 4th estate. This is coming from Manasseh Azure or Rankasa, the Twitter handle page. Now, there's a whole lot of angles to this story. First of all, I think Lighthouse is going to lose this case, not because I think Manasseh Azure is right. Manasseh Azure did his job
as a journalist,
as a writer. So I see nothing wrong with it. But if you are looking at it holistically and then looking at things from a standpoint as a spectator, I think the Lighthouse is really going to lose this case big time. So the question is, why are they going to lose this case? But answer, let's get into the nitty-gritty of the case and why Lighthouse is suing Manasseh Azure. According to Manasseh Azure, in the lengthy rata opposite and accept a year the 4th estate gh.com, the website, you know, uti sema okan, or see the suit named editor in chief. Mamin Kanfi has said, also in the immediate aftermath of the publication, there was a complete uproar in the plaintiff churches. But basically, you know, Mamin drop here and also the suit named the editor in chief of the Fourth Estate, Manasseh Azure, the reporter who worked on the story, Edwin Appiah, the executive director of Media Foundation for West Africa, which means Edwin Appiah, the executive director for Media Foundation for West Africa, and also Suleimana Brahma and the Media Foundation for West Africa as defendant, which means Manasseh Azure Manasseh Azure, Edwin Appiah, Suleimana Brahma, and I other people too are on no Manasseh Azure and account. Now, according to Manasseh Azure, Pacha said the Fourth Estate it's a non-profit journalism project. A Media Foundation for West Africa. Basically, you know, omo kasa ema journalists near the 1970 by no omo di omo yomejuma as journalists. But 8 months after the publication, a Lighthouse Chapel International almost say they cannot come into terms with what Manasseh Azure and the people have published. In 2 years, I'll say 8 months after the publication, the church said it was unable to quantify or particularize the loss it has suffered or sustained after the series of stories on the issue. Lighthouse Air Patch said 8 months after the publication, it's too much to the extent they can't even sit down and watch as this thing goes on. And LCI, which is Lighthouse Chapel International, almost say almost sue Manasseh Azure and others, and also they will amend the sue and our charges, and they will amend it. By the end of the day, before I amend the now the damages come penny ashim. Now, according to Manasseh Azure, explaining so no the ejuma na as a reporter. Now, according to the report or make here, what it seems, according to Lighthouse, almost say, according to Manasseh Azure in the report no make here, what it seems is that it painted a picture, say, almost spiritual father who is Dag Heward Mills, Sebe. He lies to people. Let me read this. I think it to be very compelling. Sir, media to screen. So now, at the end of the day, yes, we can read because this is a serious case and this became a national issue in Ghana. So, it was said you read it now. You had tour in just a minute. You had the better screen. So now, for my so this is serious. And at the end of the day, court case never Manasseh Azure is really fit. He said he's going to face them. He said he's not afraid. So which tells you say you see no be say battle of the fittest. So first of all, in fact we need to screen so see you can na you really what is going on here. So ADBB at to screen also. So we'll be reading it as to why Lighthouse Chapel the Omujina so ADSU a year Manasseh Azure. So, media two screeners. So, I say they were drawn into the ministry by their spiritual father, who is the founder and the presiding bishop of LCI, Dag Heward Mills. Most of them who serve as student leaders in the gospel said they were not given employment letters. There was no formal employer-employee relationship when they transitioned into full-time service of the Lord after graduation. This they said the church took advantage of and mistreated them. The 6 have resigned and sued LCI, which used to be the epicenter of their spiritual and social lives, and which used to be the epicenter of their social and spiritual lives. They are praying the courts to compel the church to pay their SNIT contributions, and damages for the rise which they violated. And according to Manasseh Azure, what he's saying is this. Our patcher say reporter or mobile make here and on the baby na onya report if he says Lighthouse former Lighthouse Chapel pastor sa or patcher say omo bi school no Dag Heward Mills ebe keke nsem bi choma in some of catch no catch so mo bi school me we school na me medical doctor but me the medical doctor no to in 1991 am ko di Nyankopon dwuma echi inti mo so mo follow the same thing inti according to they also follow the same realm of a year if anything Dag Heward Mills and on the cross any other than a then it's according to according to them, no, what they are saying right now, and they say, your friend is saying, Lighthouse Chapel International, it seems say, oh, I say, omudi omo and I say they forced them, and they were under duress, and could this as of Juman, and not a Lighthouse Chapel, the fourth estate, they refused to do a diligent job by digging and getting all the facts of the case, but they just came to publish it, and at the end they dented Lighthouse Chapel's international image. And no, Manasseh Azure Abeka say the accounts of people they buy and not publish here. Now, my son trust me, I mean sure what is going on down here. SCI contended this Lighthouse Chapel International contended the publication is on the screens, dented its image. Hannah Adini in our Lighthouse Chapel model called dented its image and has suffered considerable damage, distress, and embarrassment, and has also suffered special and aggravated damages, which means I say a whole lot of things. The church wants the court to restrain the fourth estate from publishing similar works defamatory of the plaintiff, which is Lighthouse Chapel International, Dag Heward Mills, and the church itself. It also it also wants the fourth estate to apologize for the stories and also pull down all the stories. So apart from the damages and restraint from talking about the story, this
church
whole thing again, they want the fourth estate, Manasseh Azure, to pull all the stories down. Those stories also contain the former pastors' accounts of the sacrifices they made in establishing churches they were forced to abandon because of church policy. Now, that is not all. One other thing now, we are very disturbing now. Osha, it tells you say Lighthouse Chapel International is not really sitting down on its laps. They really, really, really want to take on this particular people, no, and we according to sources, no, say Lighthouse cry, and I say Ibubu Lighthouse, some more Manasseh Azure, Osha, or see they believe that they are more silent pastors, which means for this account by some more kind they believe it's on the screens. They are more silent victims among the 111 bishops and over 2,300 pastors of Lighthouse who are currently shepherding more than 6,070 churches in 92 countries across the world. Apart from enforcing their rights, the 6 former pastors say the reason they are speaking up is to ensure that those still serving in the church do not suffer what have been through. The church, in response, countersued the former pastors and now the fourth estate for the fallout. In his statement of claim, the LCI said that the relationship between the church and its founder, Bishop Dag Heward Mills, was inseparable. So, LCI, Lighthouse Chapel, and Bishop Dag Heward Mills. Now, basically, what we just read to you, pastors, the main reason why they sued is not because of money, even though they want their snake, a friend is a contribution which were not paid according to them. Because we are not having a full account. Courts they are striking out more of the plaintiff. Pastors are striking more of charges and accusations
against Lighthouse
Chapel. If you look at this carefully, per this, almost the main reason why they came apart from the state contributions is to make sure that one more assume no beam who school, who engineering, like what must be pitch or campus or say or no a doctor and or doctor not so ho and or enter into full ministry. You can also do the same and serve God. Now you're a lawyer. So the lawyer not trying to enter into full ministry to serve God. If you are also young, you're interested, you can also come and do the same. But according to these pastors, Senator Dag Heward Mills because at the end of the day, foul as a pastor. They don't give you any contract. A transition, maybe you train you now graduate from Bible school. They don't put anything on paper. A bit to me. About say your employee, these are your benefits, this is what you stand to gain, this is what you stand to lose.
Salary near.
This according to the former pastors. And Lighthouse Chapel is saying some as our former pastors and no correct identity of image. That is why they are suing the fourth estate, and also they are suing Manasseh Azure. Now, as in Siwa, as I said earlier on, this case, a very serious case, and then a friend is saying a very serious case. And then almost can be a trust for her. This particular one, I think say Maka and not that. So I think so right now we can go on account of taking your questions. And why I'm saying is I think Lighthouse Chapel say or me if they've eaten exoneration, which means say or masem omo kan de omo boa mo say oh asem omo kan say nya no kra, de omo boa mo say nya no kra. I think it should end there. But if they are going ahead to sue Lighthouse, to sue Manasseh Azure, the main reason is to stop future occurrences like this from media people doing shoddy and shady stories about things they don't have full evidence about. At the end of the day, no, sorry, now I say any image, you can't bring the person back on scale again. So I believe that's one of the main reasons that Lighthouse issue Manasseh Azure. But if you look at the thing carefully, anyhow Manasseh Azure or carrying on from the beginning of this publication till now, I think that Manasseh Azure will win he's not going to win the case, but I think Lighthouse has no case. And I'll give reasons why.
Okay, so the reason is my for a day Lucy Bray Manasseh Azure.
And that is one of the reasons, but I think he was doing his work as a journalist. Let me give you an example. Pinax, my company, say on Point Media, say then, no. Your boss is there. He's employed a lot of people to work near there. If one person comes in to be a worker, and now worker back at the same call, whilst the worker is still working with you, now the command journalist say, oh, wouldn't him say on Point Media, which houses Pinax and other petty companies, you know, wouldn't him say boss, you know, or sedate workers, you know, any mother sedating say. Or the draw to drinks of workers and almost you know, obi anywhere, or yes, or more ye weeping on your mother, who we are no compensate you. This is a day a cost with mama will be in him. But if one person goes the extra mile to tell journalists no blower, I think that one it moves to a level if any whistle blowing and a whistle blower.
Yeah.
The main point of whistle blower is to say the things are echoes in an organization. So that at the end of the day, we can straighten up things. Young kind of cry. Brony said in every room of beer there's an iota of truth. Maybe they might have paid these
pastors.
Aggravated pastors, but young kind of amongst all the contemptuous allegations and things are ebano. In there somewhere there will be a little bit of iota of truth. And maybe there's certain portions that they really suffered some sort of emotional trauma.
When at like
because Bimuka said they cried near the we were not there they cried, but it could be true. Said they cried because of the things which were happening that they were not happy. Remember, with over 2,000 pastors and counting, you can't serve anybody to the fullest and maximum. You have people who will not be happy about something, so it is normal. What I say, but in all of these things, you know, the main purpose for this publication was to steer off where your friend is saying the church was heading. It was heading on the path. So concerns with our watch, Benny and Kawansem, but Manasseh Azure, you know, on the reports by a man is straightening up things. It's the first crowd on the people who were working at Lighthouse, they feel some employers and I'm making it known to them, say, you guys are not employees, you guys are just shepherds. Secondly, we are not taking any full-time pastor. You have your side hustle as a doctor, as an engineer, as an accountant, and be a pastor. So that you will not be dependent on the church. So what is happening is that if they're able to do this, what they are doing is that they are leveling all the planes, and I said they are putting everything down. They are opening everything to let people know where they are. So at the end of the day, in the next 40 years, me call retirement,
pension pay.
So do your work and do the service to God. We can give you some sort of bonuses and tips, but and you mainly say because Lighthouse does not require or regard you as a worker. So they can make all of these things known to the people, and they can give them some sort of contract, not worker contract, but some sort of thing. People be a bit
at least only Lighthouse for
not that it is going to compare, and it is going to contain the whole brief thing about what you are doing. What Lighthouse sees you, how Lighthouse sees you, and how you should also see Lighthouse and what you are doing, how you should also see the thing. I want to be say Juma and say evangelism and I say ABR dear crab boy be a friend example. Favor. Not just favor,
like helping the church.
Yeah, there's a word they use, I think, say I forget, say see there's a word they use.
Volunteer.
Yeah, volunteer. That's the word. And now, you are doing a volunteer work, volunteerism, something like that. You need to know your standpoint. So, Lighthouse reports we buy, and they've strategized a whole lot of things. If they spelled the standpoint, and I say where Lighthouse is and how they see things. Now, I clarify all certain things I want to dream. So, I didn't see the report to damage Lighthouse. What or how I saw the report was that the report speared or veered Lighthouse off a dangerous path to a more great path. The reason is because sometimes, what am I saying? I'm not saying Lighthouse is evil near that I've got to go to church there. What I say, me too quiet me ba any area be Lighthouse I me corner Lighthouse or I go. I've been to Lighthouse Bako in New Boy Man, Bako La Paz. I've been to one at Medina, Mako Bako Ewo a year. I think Botiano Enclave or top or say Kadesh. What my son so Bako and Agazo. So I've been to places. All these places are Lighthouses. So I don't see that the whole thing was stripping Lighthouse off the Winyano and bringing it down. But I see these are concerns, genuine concerns are a bit my misrepresentation of how people see things. It's at the end of the day, Lighthouse, this report will make Lighthouse straighten up things and let people know what is going on. Because in the minds of pastors, they might be thinking, so they are employees. Yeah. Meanwhile, they are not employees. In the minds of pastors, they think, okay, we are full-time workers. We need to stop whatever we are doing and volunteer fully. But now they will know, say, you have to work and be a pastor. And the pastor now, we are not regarding you as a worker. We are regarding you as a volunteer for Christ, a missionary. And no, sir, no. You will not end up in the next 15 years coming to complain, say they didn't pay us. So I think it straightened up things, and then it helped them to clarify things. So at the end of the day, the long run, imagine what would have happened if, God forbid, in the next 20 years, God forbid, maybe Dag Heward is not alive again, and this report comes, and Dag Heward is not there to defend himself. It will be so devastating now. He won't be there to defend himself. Imagine what people will say about it. It can dent a whole lot of good things that this particular man has done. What am I saying? But now they've been able to see the faults. They've been able to see the misrepresentation and the misclarification of these or some of these pastors are more aggravated inside. And the perception people have said they are workers. They can straighten all of these things up. So I see it to be a different thing. And honestly, I think this issue should be you guys have counted your Lighthouse are bigger than mistakes. They make mistakes, just like every church. I was happy said Nanwa in 70 by about that he was mostly preaching about Otumfo. He came out, he said he apologized. He said that thing 20 years ago. He was young, but after 20 years,
back.
Or share his statement, not share what is going on now. We say a different from what he thought. Because Otumfo can never Otumfo books, we see decks, school decks, we see projects. It's all of these things are Otumfo I strike what he that was most pre 20 years ago. What am I saying? And he apologized. Or a human being, my information crab say Otumfo Krache Lighthouse so he apologized. So clearly, nobody is perfect. I think that this whole thing is going a long way to just take the stains of the church, make them be in a better direction. This is not the first time I saw a chaos. Roman Catholic Church, they are all scandals. Will be I say a whole lot of things. So basically, I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think it has dented the church's image or anything, but I think it has really helped the church because it will make them know the people they are dealing with. And the Bible have said open rebuke is better than secret love. It is going to help that Heward most better know how to strategize himself. He genuinely may be speaking to people, and he's a human being. He can say anything, but he thought it was normal. But now he'll be very careful of his speech. He'll be very careful of who and how he speaks to people. He'll even be careful about how he preaches. All these things would have happened if these people had not come out to bring these allegations that me and phantom out. So we need to look at it from this stance. So based on this, I think Manasseh Azure was doing his work as a journalist. There might be certain things we are practicing media ethics, but I don't think suing is the option. I think Lighthouse, even though they have a case, I think the case will go nowhere because these allegations came from the pastor. You've sued the pastor, right?
Yeah.
You see the pastor. According to Obiaba allegations, only company be a company na
And Chianica.
And nipa na beka na say. But you see, one thing people are forgetting is that reports we by Azure say he went to Lighthouse Chapel beginning for comments. They refused. So you see,
what posting and what publishing one side
exactly.
Opinion, there's no need for Lighthouse.
Of course, yes.
Manasseh.
Me kind of publication be am ready Manasseh Azure say in some bar first he went as far as writing to Lighthouse, but they did not return any of his messages. They didn't even return him to say, so, okay, as somehow no credit. Now I'm feeling so do baby.
Yeah.
But then buy or publish a story at Ghana Web and go pick a blue gym. No, that is when they came out to do damage control, and all these things can be used in the defendant's case, which is Manasseh Azure. So he did his work as a journalist. He did his work as a journalist. He did his due diligence to do background check and even talk to the people, but they refused. So he just brought what he had, and I don't think that one we can hold Manasseh Azure accountable. And if all of these things are true and they can provide evidence, say indeed the guy went as far to ask the people, is it true? This is the report I have. He didn't request, and for the past 1 month the story was still hanging. Go Lighthouse. Like that word Moses say me by less than 24 hours they brought an apology.
Yeah.
They brought an apology, which means you guys respond. So why didn't you respond? Why didn't you respond? Perhaps they thought say Enko baby. I did not give maybe enough damage control. Yes. What they should do is to sue the pastors, which they've done. Manasseh Azure should be left out. All those people at the Media Foundation of West Africa should be left out. This is simply because Manasseh Azure, according to him, or they reported by Lighthouse for comment, feedback, they didn't. And our publishing, we na asema ba. You need to tackle those people. That's why I give you an example. So Biaba Bekas and the boss saying treating here. Obeka and Sam went to the company to ask this what one of your workers is saying. Is it true?
I have nothing to say.
I have nothing to say. Yeah, baby, I have nothing to say. Baby, I have nothing to say. There are two here. O say, oh the kokos. Oh the kokos say. That is why it's like good because I know some your reports. Maybe Timaka say okay. After this thing came, we spoke to your bosses and they denied this. But Broni's silence means what? Concern. So he didn't reply them. That's what Manasseh Azure is saying. He said, I won't reply. In one of the articles or choice, said they reached out to Lighthouse for comment. They refused to comment. They didn't get back to them. I don't know. So they are couture. So if there's any issue, it should be the pastors that you need to tackle, not Manasseh Azure. That is why I think say Lighthouse will lose this case, and now perhaps this case has no weight or merit. Okay, yes.
Court hearings because so send a could be the updates for Pinax TV.